Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Moxie Inferni, and this is my battle for Week 6 of Season 6 of the CPC. This week I'm playing Techno, coach of the Carolina Pantherians. So, going into this game, I'm 3-2, he is 4-1. So if I win this game, we will be at the same record. I'm not sure whose differential will be higher, but it doesn't really matter too much right now, as we still do it 4 weeks after this game. But I'm trying to win as many games as I can, trying to get into the playoffs. After my 0-2 start, I've now won 3 in a row, so I'm hoping to keep that up here. If you want to check out my team builder, the link will be down below. I explain all the sets I'm bringing, all the good mons here. But yeah, so Techno brings really what I expect. I almost got it. Almost got all 6 of his mons correct in my predictions. I thought he'd have Alola Ninetales in this Hypno slot, but he does bring the Hypno. Probably as a medi check, so definitely could be a Fizz Death Hypno of sorts. Could try to throw up a Wish and just be annoying and fat and kind of, yeah, just annoying and bulky, really. But I do have some ways of breaking through that, and I feel like I have prep for this team, though. I just have to play accordingly, I have to play well. So let's just get into that. Also, I lead with my Klefkis. I feel like it's really a safe lead, and with him not having the Ninetales, really, I don't need this thing super healthy, like, later in the game. Like, he has T-Tar and, like, Drill and Zard, which all can pressure me. So I don't really need this thing. Like it was kind of meant to help me switch into the Ninetales, which he didn't even bring. So that's kind of why I felt safe to lead Klefki, and he did lead Crobat, which I thought was a pretty viable and pretty likely lead on his end. So I felt like this is pretty good for me. I think turn 1, I think I just throw up a Spike just to scout if he's got Defog on this, maybe spin on Drill. So he does immediately bring in Drill as a Dukes go into Tangela, which is a pretty safe switch, and he does get up Rocks. I thought he might spin that turn or this turn, so here, I think I click Giga Drain, or no, Leaf Storm, just thinking he would spin. It does miss, which, like, if there's any moment in this game where I miss any move, I'll take that miss, because I don't want to miss any attack later in the game where it's more important, or any other attacks that my team can miss, like Medi with a high jump kick. I don't want that to miss, so if that's my only miss, I'll take it, but hopefully I can hit my other moves. So I would have done like 10-15% around there, and I could at least scout a set of it, but that's alright. I think I just click Leech Seeders. I feel like it's pretty safe for me to stay in. A Brave Bird will be doing around 40-50%, but with Leech Seed and then the regen, I'll get almost all of that back, so I felt like it was a safe play. So we do Leech Seed as in does come the Hypno. So he's just going to throw up a Wish. I'm just going to Toxic him. This thing does not get Heal Bell. So I can just Toxic it, and I'm really just chipping this thing down, which is great for me. Here, I think I go into Klefki. Yeah, just because it's pretty safe to switch in, and I could have gotten up some spikes versus that. So he does have the Crobat in. He might defog now. He might just U-turn. He does just U-turn. So in does come the Hypno again. So here, I just Side Shock to try to get off some damage on that Crobat and also scout a bit. Also, so the damage that Crobat got on Klefki and also earlier on Tangela shows that he's not very offensive, if at all. I don't think he has any investment. Maybe he's very little. So that is good to keep in mind. So probably like almost max speed and then like max HP or something. So probably a pretty bulky Crobat. So we've seen U-turn. Oh, we've seen his U-turn so far, so not sure what else to expect, but definitely could have Roost, because it's pretty bulky, it seems. So I think here to stay in, maybe set up a Spike, because I feel pretty safe. Like, really, I have nothing to be afraid of in this Hypno. It's just up a Wish, and then this turn, I think he... Yeah, I go for Flash Cannon just to get some damage, and he does show me the Hidden Power Ground, which does do, you know, a fair amount, I guess, but the lefties help me heal that back, and I'm feeling pretty safe here. I'm weakening down this Hypno, and I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm just going to bring in the Tangela now, because I thought he actually would go right into Drill there, as I felt pretty comfortable there, and I thought he would recognize that and try to go into Drill to try to pressure my team a little bit more, and even if he didn't switch and just stayed in with Hypno, I was still fine making this play, and really, if anything came in but the Zard, like, I was fine with bringing in Tangela, so in does come the Execute Drill, which is great for me. I think I just go Leech Seeder, as he's not too likely to stay in, and it's just a really safe play overall, so in does come in the bat, and I just go right in a March Stomp here, so I figure I want to get my rocks as soon as possible, because I want to weaken this thing down. I don't want this thing to keep coming in for free, and also I don't want the Zard to come in, and I want to get at the rocks, that way I can kind of give him a reason not to bring in the Zard, and if he does bring in the Charizard, then I can weaken that thing down with rocks. So on this turn, he does show the default, which is good to find out that he's got that. So I don't know if he's got spam on Drill or not. He hasn't gone for it yet, not really sure. But he does have default in this, so that's alright though, as I mean, his Rock or Drill is still there, but I do have default on Klefki too, so I feel if I don't want Rocks up, I can default those away, but I think Rocks are really not too bad versus my team. And I mean, really, default's mainly for the Tentacle, just that T-Spikes aren't here. So I felt I felt like I want to pressure him more with getting up hazards on his side. Like if he gets up rocks on my side, that's fine. Not a huge deal, but he doesn't have any other hazards to get up anyways. So I'm just going to try to pressure him with my hazard, with my spikes from Klefki, and my rocks drawn Marshtomp, and also all my Garchomp. So if I can just get him up, pressure this Crobat here, that's what I'm going to try to do. So here, I think I just go for rocks immediately. He does get a crit with the U-turn, which it doesn't matter too much because it's only about 5% more, but maybe he comes to play later, but I don't really think so. So he does bring in Hypno as a set of rocks. I'm just going to go over it. Klefki really safe switching. I know he's got him background, but it doesn't do too much. He does still have the Wish, so I'm expecting another him background, and I'm thinking, you know what, I can just bring in my Medicham. I thought he might want to switch and do something like the Drill. That's actually why I wanted to not just let him kind of freely pass that Wish there, because I didn't want him just going in a Drill and like eating a Psyshock or a Flash Cannon easily from Klefki, and then being back at full. So I thought Medi would be a great way to come in and to pressure that. But he did just stay in, which is alright. I'm just going to Mega now so I get some more bulk and some more offense, and I'm just going to go for my pretty, like, really just free Fake Out, like, there's no reason not to. He does have the Protect, so good prep on his end there. The Wish Protect. We not got confirmation on that Protect yet, but it's good to see here. So now, I mean, I can live any one hit from this, like even like a Psyshock or Psychic doesn't do that much. So I'm just going to go for the High Jump Kick, which will be doing around half, probably a little bit under, but then I have the Toxic, which is weakening him down, so I can really beat this thing. Unless he double protects and gets a double protect, but I don't think he's going to do that. He'll probably stay in because this is really his switch into Medi. If I can just get off some heavy damage in this, as I do have Jump Kick, and I actually do get the crit and kill. The crit did matter. He would have lived if I did not get the crit, so that is unfortunate. In the long run, Medi would have beat that Hypno because of the Toxic, and I could just still Zen even on the turns that he would click Protect, and like it would be difficult for his Hypno to beat me just because he was Toxic. But he could have got some more damage on me, and that does kind of come into play later. So he does bring in the Crobat immediately. So I did kind of want to stay in and try to predict him to U-turn, but I felt like it was a little bit too ballsy. It wasn't really worth it. So I'm just going to go right into Klefki, as he does just defog actually, which makes sense. Doesn't want the rocks up for Zard, so that's fine too. So it does just U-turn now. With this, I mean, free 3%, but still doesn't do much. I'm just going to keep trying to chip down this Drill here. I'm doing a little bit and getting there. I have my safe switch and Tangela. This is kind of starting to cycle around and gets up rocks now. He does actually stay in this time, as he does get the flinch for a time, which is a little bit unfortunate. I don't think he gets a flinch this time though. I do just Gig Drain, get back some health. I get back a fair amount here, as he does switch into Bat. As I think I Gig Drained again. I thought he might just want to stay in, and I don't know. I wasn't really certain what he was trying to do there, so I thought I might as well just go for the safe Gig Drain. Even a Brave Bird now won't be doing too much, so Elite Seed is really a fine play, as I get back a fair amount of health, and then the regen puts me pretty high. I actually stayed on that too, because I thought he'd want to U-turn, because my switch was pretty likely, so I stayed in and double seeded, which was pretty ballsy there, but actually worked out pretty well, because if he went for the U-turn, which I was almost certain he would, because my switch was really likely, then my Elite Seed play was actually really good, and that worked out really well, as I did pressure the Drill, or got some more damage on Drill, and really just pressured his team some more. I think this turn I might have went for Giga Drain. Did I triple seed here? I don't think I did. No, I switched this time, just because I was getting kind of low there. Right. Or no, that was a double. Right, because I lead seeded. Hold on. Because I seeded this, and then I knew he'd switch into Bat, so I went to Marshtomp. Right. That was my play. That's right. Okay. I could have lead seeded again, but I figured he might also stay in, so if he did just stay in and click Iron Head with Drill, then Marshtomp was a really free switching. Or not free. Well, actually pretty much free, because the Iron Head damage pretty much gets canceled out by the Lead Seed health I get back. So in that I have Marshtomp versus this Crobat, so at this point, this is a pretty bad misplay on my end. I mean, it really wasn't that bad of a play. Definitely, I had pretty good reasoning for it, but I think in the long run, this was not my best play here, as so I'm looking at his health and thinking, so we've seen U-turn, Brave Bird, and Default. The last one's probably Roost. So he's going to want to Roost right now, and like, I don't think me going for Earthquake is a super likely play, so I think his Roost is pretty safe right here. So I do actually predict his Roost and go right for the Earthquake this turn, as he does just Brave Bird, so that's going to do a decent chunk and help trip me down as I Earthquake and does nothing. So here I just throw my rocks because I want to just get them up as soon as I can, and that really sucks. The previous turn I should have just went for the Stealth Rock. Maybe the Ice Punch, that was still a viable play too, just to get some damage on Crobat. Like, that would have helped me, as then puts him in a spot where he's either really low or be forced to Roost. Maybe I click Rocks the next turn. Although it's still probably my best play would be would have been just to collect rocks that turn on the first turn that he raid quitted. So that way I would be 25% higher, and then to be healthier later to help me take a hit from the Zard if I need to. So that was pretty unfortunate, as now I'm so low that it's going to be hard to switch in and get back some lead seed health. So this Marsh Dump is going to be pretty low the rest of the game. I am going to switch right into Klefki here, not to sack it off, because I'm not. I think, you know, he did defog. I mean, I could have stayed in at that point, but I still wanted to keep Marsh Dump around, maybe help, and maybe to get from T-Tar, like, can still take a Stone Edge from that, or help, like, taking you one hit from Crobat, or even help a little bit versus the Drill. So I thought it did still have some value, and I mean, if he default, which he did, then then I'm not taking that additional 6% when I bring it back in. So I thought it still had some value. In hindsight, maybe I could have just sacked it off at that point, because if it was that low, it wasn't doing too much. But I don't know, I mean, Klefki was a safe play, so it's fine. I'm just going to click Side Shock here, I think, as he does go right into Drill. He does U-turn and then brings in Drill, so yeah. This is the last time he's going to be able to bring in Drill for free, which is nice. So the next time he brings it in, it will die to a Side Shock, which is great for me. So I'm going to bring in Tangle. It does just the rocks, so he does now pop out his, or whip out, or whatever, his Z move, as I do miss my lead seed. I could have just gone for Dig Drain to knock him out, but I wasn't really certain what he would do. I thought this thing still could have some value, like he could U-turn into it, like if I switch on a turn that I switch into Klefki, that way he could still bring in the Drill to pressure out my Klefki. So I thought it did still have some value, even though he couldn't switch into my Klefki anymore. So I thought he might go into Crobat, and I didn't want to do like 10% or less. So I thought Leaf Seed was still a viable play, and I mean, it would pick up the kill if he did just stay in with Drill, which he did. So that's pretty unfortunate, but I mean, not the worst thing. It just would have been nice to do that, but it's alright. So I'm just going to Iron Head and thankfully not flinch this turn as I do Giga Drain and pick off the Drill. So I'm up 6-4, and that's pretty good, but Zard still could be a threat. I do still have my Balloon Tran, so I'm feeling alright. I feel like I can beat his team, but I want rocks up, and I do have my Scarf Chomp, but not too certain if I'll have a chance to get them up with Scarf Chomp or with my Marsh Chomp anymore, but still, if I can just weaken down and beat the Crobat, I can put Medi in spot to win, or put my Scarf Chomp in spot to win. At this point, I can actually just spam Outrage, because I mean, he doesn't even have a Dragon Resistance, so I'm feeling pretty safe with that. So here, I just try to go for a Toxic just to throw it off on the Zard, maybe a Leaf Seed, I think Toxic. Yeah. But he does still have a Sub, which is annoying. I thought he wouldn't really bring Sub, because I thought he'd want as much coverage as he can. I thought he wanted to be Dragon Dance with 3 attacks, because Dual Stab hits everything on my team bar in Heatran, then he can bring Earthquake with Heatran. So I thought he'd bring Dual Stab, EQ, in Dragon Dance, maybe like Roost instead of Dragon Dance or something. But he actually does bring the Sub, and that is really bad. So he could be Sub Dragon Dance, in which case he only has 2 attacks, but he doesn't really need the Flare Blitz anymore. It really versus my team. I mean, it would help versus Klefki, I guess, but still Earthquake does a lot, and then even versus Tangela, Dragon Claw does enough. So he doesn't really need the Flare Blitz for that either. So if he's sub D-Dance EQ Dragon Claw, this is pretty terrifying at this point. So I did just go hard in my Garchomp because I thought he might start Dragon Dance here, in which case I can still outspeed and break the sub at least. And then I can go in a Heatran the next turn. But on my switching act, he does go for the Dragon Claw, which I do live because I am pretty bulky. Thank you, Garchomp, and I do get some rough skin on him. I'm just going to break the sub, though, so he's going to be able to just knock me out, which it blows. He does have the EQ, so it does show that he goes out just to not take rough skin damage there. So I'm going to bring him my Balloon Tran, which I know can pick this thing off. So here, I think I just click Magma Storm, making a pretty ballsy play. So if he does just click the Dragon Claw, I might just lose. I could actually be in a really bad spot. Like if he clicks Dragon Claw, predicting me to either not have anything to hit him or predicting me to predict his switch, then it comes down to a potential speed tie with Medi versus Zard, and I think he was max speed Jolly. I don't know if I asked him after the game, but I was max speed Jolly on Medi. I think he was max speed Jolly on Zard, because the damage on Garchomp shows that he was Jolly. So here, though, I do click Magma Storm, thinking there's no way he stays in because I brought this Tran for a reason. I prepped it and have the Balloon for a reason to help me beat this Charizard, so I have Earth Power. And I mean, he's the one into T-Dar, which Earth Power would have done a pretty good chunk too. Actually, probably more. Actually, probably about the same damage as Magma Storm did, but I thought he might go into Crobat. That was what I was really fearing, him going into Crobat on the Earth Power, then getting a free chance to go into Crobat, and then he can go for anything to break my Balloon. Probably just a free U-turn, in which case I go into Klefki, then he just brings in Zard again. So I don't want him bringing in, and Klefki cannot break the Zard sub, I don't have anything on that either. So I didn't want him to be able to pivot around and basically bring in Zard again, get a free sub. So I felt like Magnastorm actually was my best play there. Maybe Flamethrower if I wanted to be a little bit safer, get out some damage on the bat, but still he would have lived the Flamethrower. Magnastorm, I feel like I had a chance. I feel like actually I might have killed the Magnastorm damage plus the 12% that I get after the turn. I think I actually did kill the bat from that range, so that was my thought process there. But here, I'm going to try to switch into, I think, Spencer, the Tangela. It's a pretty safe play. But he does whip out the Pursuit, which is, or no, in the Klefki, because I thought I got in the Klefki. But the Pursuit, that was a really good play. Him breaking my balloon really sucks for me. Is if I still have my balloon and I still have a check to the Zard around, and I still have a lot of switchings on the rocks till I'm in range of a Dragon Claw. So, and even a +1 Dragon Claw still won't be doing too much. So I can still switch in a few more times there. So I felt really secure with my balloon on Tran. That Pursuit was really nice. I couldn't really do anything about it. Like, I couldn't stay in and risk losing my balloon because, I mean, like, even if it went for anything else, like a Stone Edge or Crunch, like, that still breaks my balloon. I don't do too much to the T-Tar. I don't knock it out with anything. So that was unfortunate there, but that was a really good play on Techno's end there. So I went to Klefki just because I thought he might try to click Crunch, which was pretty safe for everything else. So here, I think I click... No, I do double into Tangela, just because I was kind of scouting to see his set. If you go for EQ, even a Fire Punch doesn't do too much. I was mainly worried about an EQ there. So I do have Tangela in versus this, and I do switch into Klefki, predicting the Hyper Voice as he does just hit Power Ice, which doesn't do much at all. And he has Life Orb, so that'll help chip him down. So here, I just want to get chip damage on this and not lower it. That way I can be in range of Medi's Fake Out plus Bolt Punch. So he does Thunderbolt and takes Life Orb damage, and that does do a lot to me. But I do Side Shock and get off a good chunk. So here I'm in a kind of weird spot. So I could just throw off a Sacrificial Spike, get that up, and then go down to his T-Bolt, and he does lose another 10%. And I could do that, and that is what I ended up doing. But I was really considering keeping Klefki around. Like, I kind of pivoted into Tangela to take this pretty likely T-Bolt, and still had Klefki around. But I didn't really want Klefki around. Like, it would be nice to help me with that Crobat and I'll pressure that and switch in. But also, I can't break that Zard sub. I only have Flash Cannon and Side Shock, which don't break its sub. And, well, yeah, Spikes or Defog aren't doing anything to it either. So I can't let that Zard set up a sub for free. So, I mean, if I had Falp, I could break the sub, and that'd help me there. But I don't anymore. Defog, I felt like was worth it for maybe worth it for the Tentacle. I don't know. But regardless, I'm just gonna sack off my my Klefki here. Get off my Spike real quick, thanks to Prankster. He does Volt Switch, which still knocks me out, so not a big deal. So here, he does bring in the T-Tar, so I bring in my Medi, as Marshall goes down to a Crunch. Heatran, after Rocks, goes down to a Crunch, or a Stone Edge, I think, not a Crunch. Crunch actually does live after Rock, not a Stone Edge. And then Tangela, I think, also went down to a Crunch, or a Stone Edge. So I wanted to go into Medi here, because I felt like it was my best play. He very well could have been Scarf based on that damage on the Tran. And a Bullet Punch would not kill him, even if, I don't think a Fake Up plus Bullet Punch would not kill him. So I do just go for the high jump kick here, as I think that is my best play, and I have to hope he's not Scarfed. If he is Scarfed, I can still live the hit, as he actually is Scarfed. And I do live the Crunch, and I do knock him out with the high jump kick, but the Sand is coming, and it's gonna put me in range of the Rock, so I can't really do much about it. I'm just gonna go for the Bullet Punch and not knock him out. So he just gets a free U-turn and picks me off. So that really blows. That's where the damage, where the crit on Hypno earlier kind of comes into play. That's what he mentions here in the chat. Because if I was a little bit lower, then I would have just died to that Crunch. Then I would have been in a tricky spot. I think Tran still lives that Crunch, but still, maybe my best play was to bring in Tran instead of Medi. That way I force him to click Stone Edge because Crunch does not kill me. And then if he's locked into Stone Edge, then Medi can take that comfortably and can high jump kick. But I don't think a high jump kick plus Bolt Punch knocked out Crobat. I might have had a chance depending on rolls, but it didn't look too great. So at this point, Zard actually does just outspeed the rest of my Mons and does just knock them all out. I bring in Marshtomp, but I am not quite that fat. Marshtomp cannot chew that. And then Tran is going to go down to EQ. And Tangle goes down to a... he does actually have the Flare Blitz. I thought he didn't for a second, for a while there, but he does have the Blitz. So he's just 3 attacks and sub, which was pretty nice. I thought he was 2 attacks, sub, DD. But, that was a good Zard set. It worked out. Sub was nice. He was able to use that well versus my... he used it versus my Tangela, and then also just the threat of it really impacted how it played with my Klefki towards the end there. So, Sub Charger was really nice. I didn't think he'd bring sub just because of the moves he'd be able to bring on a set, and how many moves and how much coverage and setup. But sub actually did work out really well for him, so props to Techno for that set. That worked out really well. We did unfortunately lose here, as you can see. Obviously, I don't know why you need to say that. Fun fact: all my losses this season have been 3-0s, so that's kind of cool, I guess. I'm 3-3 +1 now, so I guess the slightly above 0 differential is cool. This game is unfortunate, but I felt like it was a good game though. It was a really just competitive game, and I felt like definitely could have gone either way. If he didn't have that pursuit, and that definitely, if he didn't have pursuit on T-Tar or didn't go for it there, then I felt like I definitely still had a chance to bring it back with my balloon tran, because then he didn't have that immediate check. Because then I do have that immediate check to the Zard, and can pressure him out, and not just like lose to Zard like I did in the end there. So if I still had balloon tran, that could help. If Medi was healthy enough that it could actually like do more stuff in the end and not just die to the crunch from T-Tar plus the U-turn from that, then Medi could have had a chance to maybe win a speed tie versus the Zard. Then the Heliolisk was also getting low. I don't think it was quite in range of Bullet Punch yet, but fake out. It was in range of a fake out. So if I could just bring in the Medi later, I could fake that out. So I felt like I definitely had a chance there. But his prep with the T-Tar and the Zard paid off really well. So props to Techno. As I said earlier, he's just a good player in the format. He's really solid at Pokemon. So props to him. I could have packed Hidden Power Rock on Tangela. In hindsight, Leaf Storm really wasn't as useful as I thought. I went for it once and missed. Hidden Power Rock would have helped there. That way I could break his sub if he had sub. I thought he really wouldn't have sub. I don't know. I mean, he did. So, I can't say too much more about that. He did. But I just didn't think he'd have sub. Like, I definitely considered it in prep, and Hidden Power Rock breaks his sub. And, like, I thought about it, but I just didn't think it was too practical. Just because I thought he'd want to have DD. So, but, he's able to use a Zard well without even having to Dragon Dance. So, that was really nice. So, I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to stop kind of rambling. I'm just kind of complimenting Techno a lot. So, woo. But next week, I do play Hiker in a game that I can hopefully bounce back in and hopefully put myself back on a positive record and hopefully start a little win streak to finish off the season. I'm 3-3 right now. I'm outside of the playoffs right now. If I win out, I will definitely make the playoffs. Well, I don't know if it's mathematically guaranteed, but like 7-3 should definitely get me in. 6-4, maybe. 5-5, probably not, honestly, because I'm in a pretty tough conference, just record-wise, because the other records in the conference are pretty good. This video is getting long, even though it's just a battle, so I will see you guys next Wednesday with the team builder and Thursday with the battle versus my good pal Hiker. Peace out.